So let's go ahead. First, we're going to pull out the posts into the context API so we can wrap simply. At this point, the only component that really cares about them is this posts component. But there could be other use cases as this application grows. So we're just going to try the pattern in this case and kind of get used to it. It doesn't feel right to put it in my components folder, so I'm going to make one additional folder. And we'll call this one providers. We'll make a new component called posts, plural, provider.jsx. And in here, we're going to basically create a component that keeps all of the posts in state and can then give them to child components for us. We can basically wrap any component in this component. It will receive the posts. So we're going to need a few things in this case. We're going to need React and React component. We know that we're going to need Firestore in this case. Nice try, but no dice. From Firebase. And eventually I'm going to need that collect the formatter, but we'll pull that in a second. Let's do it now. Cool. So we'll go ahead and we'll say class post provider. Extends a component. And the nice part about this refactor is that it is effectively a lot of copy and paste action. So we'll go into application. And we're going to want this piece that subscribes to the changes in Firestore. We need the unsubscribe. We're going to keep track of the posts. And then we never unsubscribe from the auth changes. So when we write the user one, we're going to have to do that as well. So let's go ahead and we'll start with grabbing this. In our post provider, we'll say that's state. Export default post provider before I forget. So this is effectively, some of it I'm just retyping, but this is all code right now that is stolen from the application component. When the command unmounts, and then when it comes time to render, what we're going to do is we're going to create a context about our posts. So we'll pull that in from React as well. And we'll say post context equals create context. What is context? Context is there's an API that kind of like exists in React that allow components basically, it allows you to skip the every component must pass stuff down to its children. It's basically some higher level component is wrapped in this provider, and then any of the children can tap into that context without having to pass stuff all the way down. It's a way to skip everything being an application component. So only the components that need it can sign up for that piece of state. We've seen this before with Redux, and MobX React uses it as well. And we wrap the application. Then when we say, OK, connect, and we do the map state to props and everything along those lines that use the older context API. The older context API, which was used by React and MobX and some of the libraries like that, was kind of like unstable and not recommended for general consumption. The newer one is now like, you can use it. So we're going to. All right. So we'll go ahead and we'll render. And we're going to need the posts from this.state. Again, this is so far very similar to what we had in the application component. You could theoretically have copy and pasted most of this out so far. Where it gets a little bit different is that this component will take some children. And it will return the post context has two subcomponents, a provider and a consumer. So here we're going to provide the posts. To the children. I'm going to feed the children some posts. Except it's context, not content. All right, and we exported that. That should be everything we need.